Hi guys, how are you doing today? Welcome back to our channel. Yes, it's our channel. Me and you. Yes, and I'm back again with another exciting conversation. This one has been a long time coming. We have planned for this conversation for a while because we have a special guest today. First time on our set, but there's also another guest. Kuna guest tuko watatu hapa kwa hii studio. The second person is not a guest. Huyo ni mwenyeji. Yeah, so please allow me to just go straight into the conversation. I will start with an introduction. So wacha tuanze na mwenyeji. And then I will introduce our special guest. Baba Mombos.
That's what's up.
Salimia watu.
Hey, wangwana muko salama. How you all doing? I hope your week is off to a good start. Kipindi yako inaendaga lini? Sunday. Yes, Sunday ndio wiki inaanza. Manze. Yeah. Looking forward to a beautiful conversation. Wacha tuone kama but leo tutalearn. Huyo guest wetu ni hatari.
Ni mwalimu.
Ni
sisi
mwalimu.
Leo tumekuja hapa kulearn.
Mkufunzi. Hapo sawa.
Awesome. And then ladies and gentlemen, please drum roll. For our special guest today, the one and only Waithaka Gatumia, the CEO of Centonomy.
The money connoisseur.
Yes.
Hey, we have to talk about money. Yes, for sure.
Yes, karibu sana, Mr. Waithaka.
Thank you.
We are very happy to have you here today.
I am so happy to be here as well.
We have been planning this conversation for a while.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that our calendars finally aligned.
Very
Now
good.
make it hapa.
Really?
Because today
Yes.
is the day we talk about money.
Let's talk.
Yes.
Let's talk.
Please introduce yourself.
So first of all, I'm trying to calm myself. You know, when you're among celebs, you know, everyone, the people you see on TV, you see on YouTube, then you're seeing them face live like this. Me, I'm just like, hey, today is a good day. In fact, I will take selfies and they will be on my Instagram and
Very
everywhere
nice.
to show who I know.
Nice one.
And I can show that they also know me.
Correct.
There's a difference between, so very glad to be here. I think your introduction was sufficient. I've been working at Centonomy now. I'm closing in on 10 years, almost, in terms of the work. Yeah. Well, yes, I believe it's this year that I've done officially some work for Centonomy there, but I've been there since the beginning because we're friends with our founder, lady called Waithaka Ndoati. I'm sure you guys know her.
Waithaka.
And we started working together in Centonomy work in 2011. Yes. So I was doing some work for Centonomy at that time before I came on board now full time.
Okay.
So I've been around this material for some time and so excited that there's hunger around knowledge about how money works.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. Maybe I'm preempting. No, you'll introduce what we're discussing today.
Yes.
Then I'll say what we have been doing around that as we go. But very, very happy to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. Karibu sana.
Actually, Waithaka, you don't have to answer this, but I'm curious. Any shareholding?
We're working towards that.
Sawa.
As well.
Sawa. Okay.
It's you go step by step.
Pole tu.
I started as a part-time trainer. I was not even employed. Part-time.
Okay.
Then I joined now full-time.
Eh.
And was in the training department, general manager, now CEO,
all right.
now director. So we
mdogo tu.
You know,
Yes.
don't preempt. But I like the way you're speaking into my life. Continue to speak good things. Thank you.
Hapo sawa.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so of course you see, Mr. Waithaka, you know the conversation is about money. But today we have a very, very specific topic. And our topic is money and relationships. But under that main topic, we have two subtopics.
Okay.
Nimejipanga leo.
You can even see the notes.
Yes, I have my notebook. Yes, very serious. And our two subtopics are managing money as a couple, which we are.
Yeah.
Huyo mzee wangu. And then doing business as a couple, which we are. Yes.
True.
So please allow me to dive into this conversation,
No
right?
problem. So now, since you've introduced, can I say what I wanted to say?
Yes.
So we found at Centonomy that we were becoming marriage counselors.
Allah.
It was a problem because we are here teaching about money, but this is what used to happen. After the class, now somebody comes and says, now Waithaka, my wife, can you just call her and you know what you said in the class? Just tell her what you said because I've been trying. Then you're called on there. Said, now Waithaka, this husband of mine is in every business that is there. When will these businesses start paying us? Because we've been putting. Do you understand?
Yes.
So we actually even now run a bonus class in our program called Money and Relationships.
Yeah.
So in fact, that one we tell people, bring all your relatives.
Walete.
Whoever is a problem, whoever you're having issues, whoever you would like to grow together with financially, bring them so that we actually discuss money and that relationship and how it works.
Yes.
So believe me, we have discussed this material for a while. We're ready.
Actually, just to hammer on to Waithaka's point, I discovered that the number one reason why marriages break, kumbe hata si infidelity, it's finances. So
they keep going like this together. Those two issues.
Yeah. So it's not a surprise that unaipata sana. Okay. Yeah.
Actually, now my opening statement was exactly what you said. It was the reason for this conversation.
Sorry. We'll be quiet. Now let's listen to questions.
No. You put it very well. Yeah, because the reason for this conversation is exactly what Baba Mumbus just said. Yeah, because one of the biggest factors or major concerns in a relationship inakwanga ni stress. Na hii stress inaletangwa. Stress kubwa sana inaletangwa because of money. Yes, so financial struggles, money struggles.
Yeah.
So, the year is still very new. 2025, we make better decisions. And it starts with this conversation right here.
Yeah.
So my first question, Mr. Waithaka. Many couples struggle with wondering whether to have joint accounts or separate accounts. Like whether we need to put all our eggs, like all our money in one basket. Or do we maybe just operate kila mtu yake? So what would you say is a good approach? And, you even answer, this has been... this has been... Yes.
You guys didn't tell me I'm coming to counsel you guys. There's been a discussion here.
Okay, so merging finances or keeping them separate? What would you say is a good approach?
So your question is it has two levels. So I'll try and answer both levels. So the first one is, do you have to have your money in the same account?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
In fact, I would say probably it would be a poor decision because you see accounts, whether it's in a bank or in a SACCO, wherever it is, if you have all your money in one bank, that's a problem because if the bank fails, it goes with your money, and you've seen even banks fail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So having your money in one account is not what we are discussing here. In fact, I would suggest have multiple accounts, especially bank accounts, business accounts, whatever it is. Don't have one because you're at risk. I think what you may be asking is, should you plan for your finances together? I think that's probably the discussion.
That's much better.
And I think with 100% yes.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Because it is the lack of visibility that causes stress. It's not that you have separate goals, separate ambitions, all those things. It's that I don't know. And that I don't know what's happening is what causes people to be stressed. Now, when everything is going well, when you're making money, she's making money, everybody is happy, no one is going to ask questions.
True.
It's when there is a point of stress or pressure or anticipation of pressure that it becomes stressful. Because so now you start thinking, somebody's about to go to university. Which one? How much is it going to cost? Based on what I've been, high school we could afford, at least I could afford. But university, the one that we want, now we have to work together. But I don't know how much he earns. I don't know how much she earns. I don't know how we've been managing. Stress kicks in at that point.
Correct.
So to simply answer your question, yes. Should we manage our money together? Yes. Why? Because it gives you visibility. And that visibility reduces stress and also reduces it gives you a realistic expectation of your spouse.
Correct.
sometimes you have an unrealistic expectation of your spouse because you see what they have and you assume they have money.
Kumbe, hey.
She drives in with that Mercedes.
Yes.
He does. So she should be fine.
Yeah.
Not knowing what the responsibilities are.
Correct.
So yes, should you plan your money together? Yes. Simple question. Yes.
And just to add on what you've said, and maybe weka stamp kidogo, before 2020, no, is it before 2020? Before 2021, you know exactly where I'm going with this conversation, yeah?
Before 2021,
we used to operate very individually when it comes to our finances. Like very individually. Like we had, of course, everybody had their bills that they needed to pay every month.
Yeah.
But beyond the monthly bills, after hapo,
Kila mtu ajipange na mapesa yake.
Ajipange na pesa yake na maisha yake.
Okay.
But in 2021, when now Mkurugenzi started, and also I started content creation kidogo, like I had a few clients approach me. I don't know how, because I don't think it was a conversation we had. I don't know what happened that we now started putting our money together. Like, now my finances are his finances. Like he knows. Like now he knows exactly how much money is coming in. I know exactly how much money was coming in from his end.
Actually, what happened in 2021, that was the first time we had a conversation about finances, which is weird because us guys have been together since 2008.
Was that actually when we had the conversation with Val?
Yeah. Imagine, since 2008.
How did you stay together?
Tulikuwa tunaishi tu. Yani, vibes and inshallah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so in 2021, we sat down and asked ourselves, Maze, so where are we headed?
Wow.
What's the plan? So we had sat down with a lady called Val. It's the first time we were hearing of things like emergency funds, money market funds.
Yes.
So we discovered, Maze, if we continue operating like this, hakuna mahali tunaenda.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that we have to own joint accounts.
Yes.
Tutakuwa na joint accounts.
Yes.
But we know these are the goals.
Yeah.
We want our house by age 40. We need to have an emergency fund. Tulikuwa tumeambiwa cheza safe na 6 months. Us guys decided hapana, 1 year. Things happen, maze, unajipata 1 year huwezi fanya kazi. So once we had all our goals written down, tuka agree. Any money that comes, whether it's through me, through you, these are the goals. So wewe ikifika, chuna, weka. Chuna, weka. Until we have sorted this.
That target.
That is when we started working together.
Before that, were you both employed? I'm just checking.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a comfort that usually comes
with employment.
With employment. Because no matter how hard you're working or whatever, even if you're just kind of barely making it, you know, around this season, have you noticed now, have you seen how Kenyans are walking? Because this is now this last week of January. Have you seen guys are walking with enough confidence?
Kabisa. It's almost payday.
In fact, there's traffic because the car that has been sitting at home is now has been removed because we are going somewhere.
Very true.
There is a comfort that comes with that, and maybe that's what it was, because it was cash every month. You know it's coming.
Right.
So now you're saying you're solving bigger problems, which is where is the money coming from? I think that it was brilliant that you started that discussion.
Actually, that has made so much sense because the time we were having this discussion was after COVID. You know, COVID equalized everything. Our salons disappeared for a while, kidogo. So now we had to sit down and have that difficult conversation. Thank God, COVID also worked for the better for us. A new income stream was opened and we were able to maneuver. And I know someone will ask me, unasema ulikuwa employment wapi na ulikuwa you were running a business since 2016. But to those people I tell them, yes, we were running a business, but essentially we were employed. Hii business yenye iko na only one client. You know, we had only one client. We were producing shows for DSTV and Maisha Magic. DSTV wakifunga, sisi tunaenda nyumbani. So yes, ni employment too. Okay.
That's true. Nice. And we've experienced the most growth when we started being very open. Very open with our finances.
Wow.
And actually now working towards having goals and working towards those goals together, not separately. Together.
So, you said it so softly, guys didn't hear. Can you just shout it one more time? Ati, when did you experience the most growth? And you have to say it slowly so guys hear.
Yes.
You experienced, say it again.
We have experienced the most growth when we started putting our resources together.
Yeah.
Yes, our finances together and working towards the same goal.
It's a multiplying effect.
Yeah.
Correct.
This is the thing. This is a problem even with our inheritance system. And I know I'm going to get into trouble about this. But here's the thing. How many times can you subdivide a plot?
That's why Kisii is where it is right now. Plots are there 30 by 20.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't.
At some point, and that's a thing. So like some other inheritance systems, like I believe like the Jewish one,
Yeah.
It's the firstborn son. You remember if you read in the Bible, it's always there's always the firstborn,
Yes.
because the firstborn is the one who receives. All the others, you go and you find your place. But what that means is that the asset remains intact, and if you grow it, the next generation, you keep doing that. And it also forces everybody else, you are not the firstborn, to go and figure out what you're going to do. And essentially you're starting again. And then whatever you have, your firstborn son.
Correct.
You get what I mean?
Yes.
Begins to get it.
Yeah.
But here now, and it's exactly what you're saying. It's like you had a plot, and then you had subdivided the plot, and you're trying to do different agriculture on. Instead of saying,
let's
put it one, we farm it properly.
Yeah.
Make sure that everything on that plot is doing. And then our goal now, and this is where, as you said, your part was, you've experienced the most growth because you looked at your plot and you said, it's not enough.
Yeah.
So now you said, our incomes are not enough. What are we going to do to expand?
Nice.
And you're doing it together.
Yes.
That's where you saw the biggest growth. Why? Come on, please, come on.
So speaking of one big plot and not subdividing it,
Yes.
and how I see that is in terms of like financial planning
Good.
as a couple, right? So there's something we do at the beginning of every year. Like we have a day that is just between us and we don't do it in the house. Tunasemanga hii siku tunaenda. Tunatoka tunaenda mpaka kwa ka restaurant. But ka restaurant that has a bit of scenery, because we want the good vibes. And we sit down and we plan for our year.
Which reminds me, mwezi inaisha kesho na hatujaenda.
Yeah, but January started with a lot of craziness and a lot of work. Yeah, so tumesema tunaischedule
Okay.
Good.
Sawa.
Good.
Yes. Yeah, and we come up with a financial plan. But now, before I tell you what our financial plan looks like for the year, I would like, my question is, what would you say are like key pillars of a good financial plan as a couple?
Wow. First of all, you guys are already 10 steps ahead.
Utafanya tuende
Yeah, I
nyumbani
mean,
sasa.
no, I'm so
Tufunge
serious. I'm so serious, and that's why you're already seeing the success that you are. Because number one, you're making a plan.
Yes.
I mean, it sounds so simple, and people get frustrated, like sometimes with the classes, because they come in, like in our Centonomy class, we start off with your mindset. We start off talking about how do you make a plan. We talk about how do you make a budget, how do you track your expenses, how do you deal with debt, and everyone is. They're thirsty. No, I want to know how a money market fund works. I want to know how bonds work. I want to know how real estate works. I'm telling people, it doesn't matter. Even if you learned everything about shares, but you can't manage the cash that you already have. Which money are you investing in the shares? So you have head knowledge, but no ability.
Correct.
So what you guys are doing, which is brilliant, and everybody, I hope you're listening to this, please listen. Sit down and make a plan. Because the thing is, even if that plan is not the best in the world, at least it gives you direction.
Yes.
Okay?
That's the word.
In our Centonomy class, we talk about it like this. You have to have a vision. So vision is the dream. I like the way you said you go to a place where you can dream and see all the greenery. So the vision is where do we want to be?
Yeah.
Secondly, now you come to goals. Now what you guys are doing is setting goals. A goal is now not a vision. It is a vision that you have turned and you've given it a timeline by when and you've given it a cost. How much will it cost?
Yeah.
When you've done a goal, not a vision, now you can take action. You can't take action on a vision, a dream. You take action on a goal because a goal has a timeline and a cost. And that's what you guys are doing.
Correct.
So, as I said, you're already 10 steps ahead.
Yeah.
So, in our classes, we speak about this principle I'll kind of break it down very quickly. It's the idea is to pay yourself first. So you make it as simple as that, then you kind of break it down.
Yeah.
Now, because I'm speaking to Africans and we have many issues. Please receive it the way you will receive it, okay?
Yeah.
And understand what you mean by pay yourself first. So we have many people who are religious. They are Christians, whatever religion they follow. Yeah. So they're like, what do you mean pay yourself first? And we need to pay tithe and offering. No problem.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is the things you must pay. I think even Jesus said, pay unto Caesar what is Caesar's, pay unto God what is God's. Okay? Yeah. So when your money comes in, there's already someone who has cutted the cash. I won't name names. But it goes already there. It wasn't me. I didn't say it. There's already money that has gone. After that, if you're a believer, you pay your tithe and offering to the church.
Gone, yes.
Very good. The next person you pay is you. That's a key factor. Now, how do you pay yourself?
That was my question.
What does it mean to pay yourself?
Yes.
For many of us, we think that sherehe is paying yourself.
Correct.
It is not. When you go for sherehe, where do you go?
Club.
To the club.
Yes.
To pay who? Who are you paying? Where does the money go? Is it to you? No, it's going to someone else. Yes. Now, sherehe is important in life. What it is called is it's an entertainment budget.
Yeah.
So please, in your budget, have a line called what?
Entertainment.
Name it sherehe, whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
But please understand that's not paying you. You're paying the bar, you're paying the Uber that will take you home.
Yes.
You're paying whatever it is. That money doesn't come to you.
Yeah.
So how do you pay yourself? You do two things.
Yeah.
And they are two separate things. You save and you invest. And they are not the same thing.
Wait.
Okay.
So if you save and you're not investing,
you have
decided sana.
Yes.
Save
and you invest because they are not the same thing. Saving.
Okay.
So in fact, it's really powerful because we're talking about this with a couple.
Yes.
Okay. And I'll explain why it's so powerful for you guys. Eh? And in general, now I will see whether it works for you in general for couples.
Yeah.
So saving is putting money into a secure instrument.
Yes.
Where if you need it, you can get it today.
Yes.
So what does that give you? It gives you a sense of security that in an emergency, you talked about an emergency fund.
Correct.
Yeah.
You save in an emergency fund. So you use instruments that are relatively secure.
Yeah.
And if you need the money, you can get it now.
Whenever.
Because an emergency, you never know when it's going to happen. So you need cash. That's what saving is for.
So, kabla tuende point next.
No problem.
Is there a cap on saving?
No. But we recommend. So at Centonomy, we recommend at least 6 months of your income.
Bus.
Why? Because it means that if any shock like COVID is to happen, God forbid, for 6 months, your life doesn't stop.
Yes.
School fees is paid.
Yes.
You transport, and you have 6 months to figure out whatever went wrong, how do we restart? How do we gauge?
Yeah.
The thing about it, without an emergency fund, is immediately the income disappears.
Yeah.
You find yourself, I need to do something today. How do I pay rent tomorrow?
Yeah.
That's how guys get into bad debt.
Yeah.
That's because now you are borrowing because your lifestyle has stopped.
Okay.
So savings should support you for a period of time.
Now,
we recommend 6 months.
Okay.
But if you have 12 months, come on.
Sawa.
No problem. And at some point, and the aim is to get to the point where it's not even now savings that support your life. It's assets that continuously pay you. That's what you are aiming for.
Okay.
But as a starting point, save.
Right?
So now you're looking for safe, accessible investments.
Yes.
Don't even be complicated. A simple savings account in a bank. Things like a money market fund. Those are things that are good for saving.
Okay.
And don't put all your eggs again in one basket.
Yes.
So if you have savings, 2 banks at minimum.
Okay.
So there's no issue.
So
That's the first half of paying yourself, saving.
Saving.
Number 2, you must invest. Why?
Yeah.
you guys have savings.
Yes.
In your savings account, how much do you earn per year? Do you know? The
How much?
return?
Oh, in return?
In return, what percentage do they give you in your savings account?
It's 9, eh?
Oh, yeah, about 9.5.
Savings
Yeah,
account.
No, that's CIC.
No, because
That
now,
is money market
That's
fund.
money market.
Yes,
Good.
it's a money
I'm
market
saying in a
fund.
savings. Do you have a savings account in
No,
a
no,
bank?
no.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if you're in a bank,
Yeah.
they pay you somewhere between 4 and 6%.
It's Chini.
Inflation in this country is how much?
Juicy
Oh,
when it was at 7 or 8.
6 point something.
So
Yeah.
if your savings are increasing by 6%,
Yeah.
but everything is getting more expensive by 6%, what is happening to the value of the money that is there?
Oh,
Sometimes you're even losing
Yes.
value
Very true.
over that period of time.
Yes.
So investing
Mm.
is where you look for instruments that give you a higher rate of return than inflation. So when you're investing, your first question is, what is the rate of return?
Yeah.
And you're looking for the highest
Rate of return.
rate of return.
Yeah.
That's question number one when it comes to investments.
Yes.
Is which investments give me the highest rate of return? Put them all together like this.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Then the next question is, which one can I invest in as securely as possible? Where is there the lowest risk?
Yeah.
But I didn't start with where it's the lowest risk, because the lowest risk are my savings account, SACCO, money market. Those are the lowest risk, but they also give you the lowest
Return.
So if my first question is where is the risk, I'm in the wrong place for my investments.
Okay.
My investments is what is the best return first. Then out of them, how do we invest with the lowest risk?
Yeah.
So you start looking for investment options that have a history. It's investment options that can tell you we've been doing this for 5-6 years and we've been continuous like this. You're looking at the market and saying the likelihood is it will continue to grow in such a way. Those are the things that now begin to reduce your risk. Okay? But you must still invest.
Yes.
yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you're not going to grow. The thing about business owners like yourselves is that you have already essentially taken the risk. You stepped out and you're building something that is generating income. So you've already done that. But for guys who are employed, my money comes in, I have to put it somewhere where it is going to grow.
Yeah.
So some money I put aside in my savings account. And what you're going to do for most people, if I can just talk about savings very quickly, for most people, it'll take you 3 years or so to save up 6 months of your income.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
So don't think you're going to do it in the first month. Just have a plan, slowly by slowly. Pole too. Don't be in a rush.
Yeah.
Every month, just be consistent in saving. And within 3 to 5 years, you'll have saved up a good emergency fund.
Yeah.
For your investment side,
Yeah.
same thing, but at a higher rate of return and for a longer period. So now for investments, don't think it is 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 5 years. Investments are a 10, 20-year plan. And that's where people make the mistake most of the time. They think, I'm going to invest in the stock market. I'm going to put money today and next year, millionaire. No. The guys who make money are the ones who say, every month, the same way I save, I put I buy shares. And I'm going to do this 20 years.
Okay.
And that's where now you see the growth over time.
Yeah.
It starts slow, but it's what you call an exponential curve. If you've ever seen an exponential curve, it's not a straight line like this. It starts like this, then it curves. Now when it curves, it gets to a point where it grows so fast. Have you ever wondered why rich people, they just continuously get richer and richer? It's because they have gotten to the point where any investment that they make has a multiplied effect because they have significant investment. But they started small. And so to everybody, keep doing what? Keep making those small investments because it'll get to a point where it flips.
Okay.
And I'll use you guys as an example. When you started this work of being celebs, did anyone know you?
No.
So you could walk in town and nobody. Can you walk in town now with somebody saying, hey, Judy? And they feel like they know you. Did it happen in one day?
No.
But it feels like it because it got to one point where you just hit that mark and it took off. Now you're riding on what the years of work that happened before that. Please things of this world have the same formula.
Yeah.
Success comes the same. Even with your investments,
Yeah.
it's going to be like slowly. And then suddenly you see that growth.
Growth. Nice.
So as I said, principle number 1, pay yourself when?
Fast.
So what does that mean? When money comes in, you pay the government, you pay if you're a believer, tithe and offering, then you save and you invest.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Your landlord comes after your saving and your investment.
Okay.
School fees comes after
you
have saved and invested.
Kwa hivyo tukue mang'aa.
Because
what happens is if you pay all those other things, there's nothing left.
There's nothing left. Yeah, that's true.
You're very right.
So now what happens when you save and invest first? Suddenly you might say, maybe we are living in too expensive a house.
Need to adjust.
You need to adjust.
Yeah.
But if you don't do it, you feel good until the income disappears.
Yes.
And that's why everyone is living, most people are living on the edge.
Yeah.
It just means if they lose the income, they fall off.
Yeah.
But what you're doing is you're building capacity so that even if something changes, your life will not significantly change within that time.
Yani, that makes so much sense. Unajua nimekaa hivi nikafikiria, do you know when you have done something for a company or an organization, then when it comes to time for them to pay up, then something happens. Watakutumia email. Wakuambia oya kadhe, tulikuwa tumekupromise hii mwezi, makosa ni yetu. Ngojea next month.
Yes.
They pay themselves fast.
Yes.
So sijui mbona sisi tunafeel hiyo kitu ya
bills kwanza.
Jo wacha nimalizane na landlord.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
And
hey man. Okay.
Even when we talk about loans.
Yeah.
Please ask when you go to the bank, if you take a loan, ask for the schedule of repayment.
Yes.
And in the schedule of repayments, they'll show you out of your payment, especially like mortgages.
Yeah.
If you take a mortgage and you're paying back 200K per month, let's say for a mortgage.
Yes.
Like 190K of that payment is interest. You have not even touched your principal.
Oh, so they pay themselves.
They have paid themselves when?
Fast. Hii inaweza ishia hapa.
Pay yourself fast.
Clinton na Collins mnajua hiyo?
That's it. So you're asking about principles. Very quickly, the other two is you have to track your expenses. Why?
Hapo tunalegea. We are not tracking our expenses.
You will be surprised where your money goes.
Yeah.
And you see, so long as there's money, you're not bothered.
Yeah.
It's when you don't have that you have problems, or when you begin to think about the big goals that you have. Like you said, you want to own your own house. You want your kids to go to good universities.
Yeah.
You want to have a good retirement. Those are big goals.
Yeah.
And so when you put those in perspective, now is when the small numbers begin to add up.
Yeah.
This is something I share everywhere I go because it shocked me so much. It changed my life. When my wife and I, we tracked our expenses the first time. This was I did Centonomy class, by the way, in 2012. I sat in the class myself as a student before I became a teacher.
Yes.
And we were told track your expenses. We did that for the first month and we found we were spending more on takeout food than our rent. Like in a month.
Hey, how much was your rent?
So, let's go pole so that we do the math.
Yeah.
So that you see whether we are crazy or not. So, this was 2012.
Yes.
We didn't have kids that time. We were living in a 2-bedroom apartment. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what would you consider to be a kawa lunch?
Kawa lunch.
Yeah, lunch that you'd buy at the office. Like here, after we finish this, you go and just buy. Not a serious place.
No.
The one for every day at the office. How much would you spend?
250, 300.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So 250.
Yeah.
But now, how many of you?
Two.
She's at her job.
Yeah.
I'm at my job. So how much is that in a day?
Between 5 to 7.
500. Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
How much is that?
You're 25.
That's 2,500.
Yeah.
Then on Sato, where do you go? Because you don't go to that same place. Now, where do you go?
Unaenda huko kwa thao.
Thank you. And you spend? As on average, it was like 3K. Okay?
Kwisha.
Good. Then Sunday after church, what do you do?
So already we are at 5,500 na tujaenda church.
Yes. No. I'm saying after church. Because see, you go to church, then you...
Then you... Yes.
So
5,500 after church.
After lunch.
Gonga elfu zingine.
Another 2, 3. So us it was about 3K. So in a week, takeout is how much? 8,500.
That's 1 week.
In a month, 4 weeks, that's 34,000.
That's 34 Gs.
On takeout food. Our rent was 28.
Itabidi mulale kwa hoteli mkule hii 28.
Oh, wow.
What?
But you only pick such information once you
So
track
when we
your-
saw
You
it,
track,
you
yeah.
now begin to think, are we crazy?
Yeah.
Something is wrong here. How do we solve this problem? The joke I always tell guys is, now we are seated with our friends.
Yeah.
Now, where were we seated? You can imagine. Where do you go and sit with your friends?
Mahali kwa-
So you're out.
Yeah.
Again,
Yes.
spending the money.
Wegelea.
Then you're saying, guys, do you see how much we have spent over here?
Yeah.
Now we're telling guys we are spending this amount on takeout. We did our calculation. So we're out with our friends and our friends tell us, why are you doing that? Why don't you hire a chef? Now, when you hear that, you're like, that's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's
Sounds
extravagant.
very-
That
very
is
expensive.
very Muthaiga North.
Yes. Until you realize,
Yeah.
when we had a guy called Japheth. He used to come and cook in our house twice a week. We'd pay him $2,000 every time he comes. Now, we've cut out the entire budget
Yeah.
for lunch at the office. And anytime
Yeah.
on a Saturday you don't have a plan, instead of calling for takeout,
Yeah.
there's where food
It's
in the
food in
house.
the house.
Yes.
By the way, has food ever gone bad in your fridge?
No.
Oh.
No,
No.
I'm actually asking. It used to go, you would cook, and then because you eat out, you take out all the time.
Yes.
See, you find food has gone bad even in the fridge.
Yes.
Ah,
yes.
So I can ask
But
the
it was
question
sitting
again.
there
for-
Has
Yes.
food ever gone bad in your house in the fridge?
Yes.
Have we
Wewe
gone
ni
and found?
rafiki ya mtu wa hoteli.
Yeah.
Wewe na mtu wa hoteli. Oh my God.
So
Yeah.
we now began to see, you hire a guy to cook for you. It sounds extravagant until
Yeah.
you do the mathematics. When we hired him,
Yeah.
we were saving over 7,000 shillings from that takeout budget every month.
So this guy comes twice a week,
Yes.
cooks, leaves the food there.
In fact, some he just prepares for you to put in the oven or to put ukaanga together. It's ready.
Hebu tumekuwa tukisema hii kitu miaka ngapi sasa? Hey.
What I'm saying is, it's also, you see, people also think, financial planning is all boring.
Yeah.
You'll never make your life just decreases.
Yeah.
You'll never spend anything.
Yeah.
We were still going out, but we were doing so with order.
Yeah.
And that's what tracking does. You're going to find stuff like
Yeah.
that you've never understood. So
Yeah.
this is, okay, I'm going to get in trouble again. Do you know how much you spend on M-Pesa every month?
I don't know. I know it's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
I've never checked.
So M-Pesa is a revolutionary product. It is life-changing. It has changed Kenya and is going to change Africa.
Yes.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
I use it,
Yeah.
but you can also misuse it.
Very true.
So that I owe you a K. Instead of paying you a K,
Yeah.
I go to my
M-Pesa.
M-Pesa and I send you and I pay Safaricom 30 bob for the
Yes.
privilege
Yes.
of sending you.
Correct.
Now, if I'm sending shags,
Yeah.
it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But if I'm here with you,
Yeah.
why?
Si nikupee tu.
I just give you the cash. So
Yeah.
carry cash, use your debit card, which you're not being charged as much as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And then for the things that M-Pesa is good at, dealing with the government, because I'm paying my e-citizen stuff from
Yes.
there, use it for those things.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're again. So if you can cut small amounts of all these things and this is not changing your lifestyle.
Yeah.
You're still living well,
Yeah.
but it puts extra cash in your pocket to save, invest, and do all the things that you're doing.
Actually, you're very right. I don't know whether it's just ingrained in us that when you're sending someone chums, you take care of their end as well. So you can't send
Ya
someone
kutoa.
1,000.
Yes.
Eh.
Unaona
In
sasa
fact,
akitoa
in fact, on the app, it even
Yeah.
tells you how it gives you the number.
Yes.
Oh
So
man, that
I
makes so
get
much
it.
sense. Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you know, then
Yeah.
you'll make better choices.
Mm.
Another one that really is in trouble, money and relationships,
Mm.
is your relatives. How much do you guys spend on your relatives? Do you know?
I don't know.
Hata mimi sijui.
But I know it's a lot.
But
It's a
every
lot.
month,
Yeah.
Lazima.
see someone calls
Eh.
and asks, see you are in what? If I go to your phones,
Yeah.
you are in WhatsApp groups,
Yes.
and I'm sure there is a list.
Eh.
Yes.
Iko.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Tracking.
If you don't know,
Yeah.
then you can't make choices.
Yeah.
And you'll be giving out all the money. You're making it, but it's just going elsewhere. Then the last one is focusing on assets. Now, you don't get anything from what I'm saying. Take this at least. Please buy assets. Assets put money in your pocket. Everything else you own that doesn't put money in your pocket, our founder, Shekeshi, coined this term, is a flosset.
It's a flosset.
It makes you look wealthy,
Yeah.
but it's taking money out of your pocket. You buy a nice sofa,
Yeah.
you're losing money. Now, I'm not saying don't buy a nice sofa.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the sofa will never put money in your pocket.
Yes.
So as a priority, you should be looking for things that you own that do what?
Put money in the pocket.
Wealthy people have what? Assets. Because what they own pays them or grows in value so that you're not in the same position that you are. But for most of us, what do we go and buy? A nice sofa? Losing
nice
money.
car.
Nice TV?
Very big.
Losing money. Nice car. Thank you.
Boy town.
Thank you. Let me. I'm not the one who said it, but I watch certain videos of people.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
With the big
stories
saddles.
from the car. I know. I'm not naming names or pointing fingers over here. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that vehicle, you paid for it.
Yes.
The day you paid for it and drove it out of the dealership,
It lost value.
immediately it had lost like 10%.
Yeah.
Hey.
Today, if you try and sell it,
Yeah.
you sell it for half
Oh,
what
yeah,
you
for
bought
sure.
it for.
Yeah.
You've been fueling, insuring, maintaining,
Yes.
spare parts.
Yeah.
All the money is coming out of your pocket.
Correct.
So, to you guys,
Yeah.
of all the things you own, how
Yeah.
many of them pay you?
Hey. 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 We are doing poorly when it comes to
Yeah.
assets.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hapo kwa.
We have learned laying idle. It's not paying us. Maybe it will pay us in future, but
So, you see, that's one of the things we do.
Yeah.
Land,
Yeah.
especially here in Africa, is a big deal.
yeah.
Because we think so that it's going to appreciate.
Yeah.
But we're not being strategic.
Yes.
So, we buy land and we say
Yeah.
it will grow. Yes?
Yeah.
When?
Good question.
And by how much? Do you
Yeah.
even know what the appreciation rate is where you bought that land?
Where?
Let me show you the investors in land.
Yeah.
The guy who sold you that plot.
You
know why? Because they went there, they didn't buy the 50 by 100, they didn't buy the quarter, they didn't buy the half. They
Yeah.
bought 10 acres.
Yes.
Within 3 months, they had done the subdivision. They did a Maram road and told you 50 meters from tarmac.
Yes.
Right? And put
The
it on.
ready title
And
deed.
ready title deed. They put it on the market.
Yeah.
And within 3 months,
Yeah.
they have made they sold it to you
Yeah.
for 60% more, 30 to 60% more than its actual value. So that in 3 months,
Yeah.
they have already turned a profit. Those are the investors in land. Not the quarter acre, 50 by 1. No.
So when you talk about assets,
Yeah, I'm
Is-
curious.
the good assets, say sofa set, what exactly do you mean? Like, give us some examples.
If it is earning you money,
Yeah.
it is an asset.
Jugushe's matatu, that's an
That's
asset.
an
It is
asset.
an asset.
Yeah.
Jugush could have bought, with his Ma3, he could have bought a Range Rover
Yeah.
and looked
In fact,
powerful.
At some point, that was the plan.
Yes. Go and
Alikuwa
next time you
anataka
meet
Lexus.
him,
Yes.
because
Alikuwa anataka Lexus,
because yes, Sele met me after they had done the class at Centonomy.
Yes.
Sele met me and just said,
Yeah.
"Waithaka." And me, I was wondering, "Hiya, what have I done now?" Because
Yeah.
we met just randomly here in Westlands.
Yeah.
And she was like, "I needed to see you because we have done it when it was Tugi, yes,
Yes,
that we were
Yes,
buying, yes."
yes.
We have done it. We did it after we did the class.
Yes.
We left and we knew we have to buy something that
Yeah.
will pay us money.
It's very true.
They got it. Now, the money that they're making from those Ma3s
Yeah.
can pay him
Yes.
to drive the Lexus that he wants.
That's true.
Hey. Hivyo ndio umetuingiza kwa sako.
Please understand.
Yeah.
If you don't have assets, you're not building. So those are the 3 principles.
Yeah.
Pay yourself first.
Yeah.
Know where your money is going. Track your
Track your
expenses. And number 3, focus on what? Assets.
Acquiring assets.
Assets.
And it doesn't have to be a big asset. Good story that I was told. You guys must know Eugene Bogwa.
Yeah, Eugene, yeah.
Do you know
DNR
Eugene?
pictures, yeah.
Eugene came and spoke at one of our events, and he told the story of how he started. And he started using a laptop that his parents bought for him when he was in university. Most of us university students, what are we doing on our laptops? See, it's for
entertainment. Yeah.
Eugene, when he was in college, was burning DVDs and selling them.
Like movies.
So what had happened? His laptop suddenly became an asset.
Yeah.
So when you talk about assets, don't think big. Just ask, is it paying me?
Yeah.
This thing, is it doing something that is earning cash or increasing in value? If it is, that's an asset.
Can a business be an asset? Let me just assume that you're asking that question for the sake of others. Thank you. You're a good interviewer. Thank you so much. But right now, I want you to name the wealthiest people on earth. Businessmen. Bill Gates.
They don't. Elon Musk does not have $300 billion.
Yeah.
He does not.
Yeah.
He has shares in Tesla and SpaceX and whatever
Other
else.
things.
And X.
What?
When you value them, they come to $300 billion. Business is probably the biggest asset class that there is. But
we have redeemed ourselves.
No, hold on.
Guys.
There's a but.
Hold on. But
Yes.
does the business
Yes.
generate cash? That's the problem for people like yourselves who are in the entertainment business. And in fact, we're doing a course for you guys.
Yeah.
And we'll work together, I know, on this.
Yeah.
If we removed you from your business, is there a business? For most guys in the entertainment world, sorry, you're saying
No. Yeah. No, you're right. I was just about to add, like if I am a content.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I am not there, then kuna pesa.
What if you're selling merchandise?
Yeah, now
So
that is
so,
something,
but
an asset.
again, does the merchandise sell without you?
Yes, can it sell on its own without you?
I think
Posting about it.
So that's why I brought up
about
someone like Eugene.
Yeah.
Because Eugene can go on holiday and productions continue.
Yes, DNR runs.
He's not the value in his business.
Yeah.
So if you are the value in your business, you are self-employed. Okay?
You're not an entrepreneur.
You're not an entrepreneur, yes. If you are the value. Now, I didn't say it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I think it's a good strategy. Just because you're self-employed, you must be like any other employee and make sure the money you're making, you're investing elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yes. That's it. So that it eventually now pays you.
Yeah.
So you're not doing badly, guys. I'm not here. I'm just saying, because you ask, can a business be an asset?
Yes.
It's only an asset if it generates cash by itself without you, without needing you. That's where it is.
That's why we need the entrepreneurship class. We need it. Wait, Waithaka. Hey, you're dropping gems. Gems.
That was quite something. So pay yourself first.
Yeah.
Track your expenses.
Yes.
And then
Assets.
And focus on
acquiring assets.
Yeah.
Wow.
You asked for principles.
Yes.
Good. We have not even started talking about relationships. Why?
Actually, now speaking of relationships, now we go back to relationships. Because now we've spoken about as a couple the things you need to do, coming up with a financial plan, what you need to look at.
Yeah.
But then again, we are also individuals, right? So tuko na maisha yetu kivyetu. So would you say, how important is it for us to have some independence when it comes to their finances?
It's vital. It's vital. But independence is not the same thing as secrecy. There's a difference. And where the conflict comes is our terrible culture around secrecy. That's what it is. So that you have no clue what he's doing. He has no clue what you're doing. And it breeds a contempt somewhere in the back of your mind. And while things are good, it's fine until there's a stress. Then when there's a stress, this is how it happens. So we are fine. Everyone has their accounts. They're doing whatever they're doing until now, God forbid, let's say you lose your income or that project doesn't work and there's no income on your side. Okay. But the bills remain. So now you start thinking, Kenny, I'm stressing myself with this thing. I'm paying rent. This person who I'm living with, they can't see. The way I'm stressed. Do they even have money in the account that they can help me with? They must have. See, they're still living life the way they usually. They must have money and they're not giving me.
Unaka 50K urgently.
So, the independence is fine so long as there's visibility. It's the lack of visibility that causes the stress, not the independence. So that if you say, our budget is this, and this, you have 20K, you have 20K, that is for whatever you want to do. Even if you want to surprise me, in fact, that's a good way. One of the problems of having a joint account is that you can't surprise your wife. You can't, because if you remove, she'll see that it has, yes. So there are no surprises there. So it's a good idea to have that separation, but with knowledge. That 20K is, I'm not going to ask you what the 20K is for. You go and use it. The problem is I don't know. Do you have an extra 20? Do you have an extra 200? Which one is it? And then now you're not sure. And that uncertainty is where the friction begins to come in.
So financial independence is good.
As long as there is transparency.
There's also issues, and we spent time in the class talking about estate planning. Now, in a relationship, like in a marriage, there's an expectation that, God forbid, if I'm not there, my wife should be taken care of. Okay? If you don't have a will and she does not have access to your accounts, what happens is your assets become property of the state.
Yes.
For a while, until the state can determine who are the rightful beneficiaries of this. Okay? Now, that can take a long period of time. And I can say this because it has happened even in my life. There was we had been talking to my father-in-law for a long period of time. We had been telling him, just tell people where things are going. And he said, I'll do it, but he didn't. And during COVID, he passed away. So what happened was his whole estate closed. That meant mom could not access his accounts. And that's where the cash was. She couldn't do transactions on business. She couldn't take land. Everything was locked for over a year until the court decided who are the rightful heirs. So one of the benefits of having things like joint accounts and things is that, God forbid, your spouse is not there. Or even maybe they not even died, maybe they're just sick and can't sign that you have access to the assets within the family. That's one of the key areas around that. It's important just so that we can think about that. Because many times when you have that thing of independence, it's her account, your account. Imagine you have no right even to your spouse's account.
Yeah, it's true.
The bank will not accept that it was your husband, so you can go and just withdraw. No. So those are kind of things you want to think about, especially in a relationship. If you want to take care of your family, how do you do so effectively? I thought I'd mention that.
Very true. Wow.
Good.
Fish.
So the final question, not to close.
I should ask. You said I should ask you questions.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So can you access each other's money?
No.
Unfortunately not.
Okay.
Bank account.
Bank accounts, no, but
there's some that you can access. I can access, and you can access. But
in a joint, but the one that is yours.
Yes. Like the money, like if, for example, the emergency fund, which is an MMF, that one I can.
You cannot.
Oh yeah, I cannot.
Because every time you request, they have to call me.
And confirm that.
Hey, Judy is asking for.
That's true.
Hey.
So all I'm saying is, Judy is about to take a trip to Japan.
Yes.
And then there'll be a delay.
Yeah.
And you need to pay school fees.
Yeah.
And you have not yet been paid yet.
Yeah.
So what do?
That's why if I don't get Judy on email,
yes,
Kwisha. I'm done.
So communication is good.
You can give authorization on email.
Yeah.
Those are things you need to think about.
Yeah.
As a couple.
Okay.
Hey.
We are winging it. We are flying blind.
After hapa tuna sign up for you, the Centonomy 101.
Zote mbili. Yeah.
Program.
Yeah.
So this is my final question. And managing money as a couple now before we do our second subtopic.
Yeah.
I want us to talk about debt. Because deni lazima, right? They say there's good debt and bad debt. Depends on what it is that you're doing with it. Hii deni konayo, right?
Yeah.
So debt can be a tricky issue when it comes to relationships.
Okay.
What would you say is the best way to go about that particular conversation, or the best way to approach debt in a relationship?
So you kind of covered it already, and we've said the main issues around it. There's also things like the visibility again. What tends to happen is, if your money is completely separate, so you go and take a loan, but he doesn't know how much it was and what the repayments are.
Yeah.
And it's fine so long as you're making money. Until now, a joint affair that's coming up. Or you're out of money and you have to pay the debt.
Yeah.
And in fact, many times now the credit companies actually, they ask you to write your next of kin.
Yeah.
So that if you disappear, who will they call? Because now you're not answering.
Yes.
Next of kin.
So now you start receiving a call.
Yeah.
Hey, boss, where's Judy? She owes us money. Can you please pay? And they do.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
That's the moment that the problems now check in, because you didn't know what your obligations were. Many couples, they're living in a house and one person is paying the rent, the other person doesn't even know how much the rent is.
Yeah.
And it's only when there's a crisis that now comes up. So the issue around debt, again, is the visibility, because it's an obligation to the household. It's not just an obligation to you. And even if you're the one who's covering it, you are linked.
Yeah.
Right? Wherever there's a stress, the stress will stress your partner at some point.
Yeah.
So it's not about what I meant that you've already kind of covered it is that why did you take the loan? If you have a joint financial plan, then everyone knows why you took the loan. You took the loan to do something and you're doing it together, even if you're the one who's servicing the loan. Without that plan and without the visibility, that's where the stress comes in. When you've sat together and you understand which loans do you have and what are they for, which loans do you have and what are they for, we have agreed, you're working towards them. If there's a shock and if there's a shift, then you're not shocked, you're not surprised. So you're going to say, oh, okay, so hey, there's these things we have to cover and we have to deal with them. And I think that if I can just mention about debt, is we have such poor education around it. We have a whole class on debt management. People don't know you can negotiate with a bank. Like, people don't know.
Like on the interest.
Yes.
Uambie mimi staki 18% yenu.
Yes. Now, does it mean that they will give you? Not necessarily, but you can ask. Only the people who ask. Believe me, the guy who's borrowing 1 billion shillings from the bank is not getting the same rate as you are, because they are negotiating. So why can't you negotiate at the point? That's number one. Number two, if something happens to your income source, go and tell the bank immediately. Guess what? I have lost my job. So my payments are going to be difficult at the moment.
Correct.
What can we do? And you will be surprised what financial institutions can do. Your banks, your SACCOs, they can often be able to tell you, okay,
Yeah.
we can give you maybe 2-3 months without the deduction so that it allows you, and then we'll resume within that period. So it gives you a lack of stress. Before that month, you just see the money disappear from your account because they don't know. But what people do when they have debts and then they know they can't pay, what do you do?
Zima simu.
Yeah.
And so you can't get out of it. So don't run away from the problems, like deal with it.
Yeah.
So for couples, relationships, it's usually the problem is I don't know.
Yeah.
And then when I eventually find out the shock, everything, that's where it is.
Yeah.
And then once I'm shocked by one thing, what happens is the next thing is in your head, you're like, what else does this person have?
Yeah, true.
And when you're in that situation, that's where the problem.
Yeah.
So openness, visibility, that's what solves. It also helps you not to fall into trouble. This is now what I was trying to say about couples. We are built differently.
Yeah.
Men and women generally are different. Generally, not research just shows.
Yeah.
Women tend to want to save more.
Yes.
Because women face a lot more risk in life.
Yeah.
Women get paid less generally.
Yeah.
Women bear the burden of childbearing and child rearing more than men. It's anytime there's a problem with children, it's most likely the mom who's solving it than it is the dad. Most of the time. It's very rare that you have a single dad. It happens, but it's rare. So the risk is more on women. So therefore, women tend to have their risk averse. So they want to save more.
Yeah.
Men are kind of on the other side of the spectrum. Men, we are told, be adventurous, go out, try.
YOLO.
So
Risk.
Yeah.
So men tend to be more entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
They tend to take more risk. Okay? Generally, again, this is from global research. It's not local.
Yeah.
Now, are there some women who take more risk than men? Yes. Are there some men who are more saving than women? Yes. So, but I'm just saying generally.
Yeah.
So watch what happens when you come together. Now you have one voice that is pushing the agenda of what? Saving. And you have another voice that is pushing the agenda of we must grow.
Yes.
Isn't that powerful?
That is.
Because when that voice of let's invest is going to do a stupid investment, the one who's risk averse will say, please sleep on it. Don't do it today. We will get there, but and also when the saving person,
That is so true.
am I talking to someone here? Okay,
yes,
good.
You are.
And also when the saving person is only saving and they are taking you almost backwards as far as saving is concerned, the one who's more investing will hold their hand and say, we are going.
20.
That's the power of couples. Because now you have different perspectives that are going to give you direction. So do it together.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, my wife has saved me from some very stupid things that I, at the time, did not look very stupid.
Yeah.
And I have also pulled her out of her comfort and I've told her, we cannot stay here.
Yes.
So I've challenged her and said, you can do more.
Yeah.
Do it.
Nice.
And that has caused us to find some healthy balance in our growth. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you have spoken to
Sana.
somebody.
Kabisa, 100.
Yes.
Oh, I'm loving this.
Doing business as a couple. We do business as a couple.
Yeah.
Like we work together. Like we are together 80% of the time.
More like
Because
95.
biashara zetu
95%.
nazifanya
So you guys
pamoja.
are Indians.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
We wake up together, go to work together, come back together, sleep together.
Good.
That's true.
Repeat.
Yeah. It's very interesting. And as I said, when we were talking about the most growth we've experienced as a couple, been because of that. Like just putting our resources together and working for the both of us as a team.
Yeah.
So I would say up until now, doing business as a couple has worked for us. Of course, haikosangi hapa na hapa. But for the sake of our audience today, love and business, pros and cons.
Okay. So pros. Let's go the good side first.
Yes.
Yeah.
generally when you're in business with somebody that you are in a relationship with, you will generally have similar values most of the time.
Yeah.
It's unlikely that you'll be together if you don't share value. And so that's a very useful thing in business because you can be with business partners who don't share your values.
Very true.
You know?
Yeah.
We were talking about this with the leadership at Centonomy, and we were just talking about how some businesses, well, it came from the US. You know, the US business market became so cutthroat at some point where it stopped being about serving customers. It started being about serving shareholders, and shareholders only want profit. Okay, so if that's all you want, then your values change.
Yeah, true.
So that if there is a global pandemic like COVID, and we must remain profitable for the sake of our shareholders, doesn't matter. Send home 20,000 staff members.
Yeah, true.
Whatever happens to them.
Yeah.
Do you see that value has shifted?
Yeah.
It's no longer about the people to say, look, imagine this year if we didn't do 10x profit, imagine life will continue. Yeah. But now the value has changed to we profit over everything else.
Yeah.
So we're saying in a business where you share that kind of value, if you guys have employees, and things are tight, sometimes you'll make a choice and say, you know what, let's pay our employees. I've seen this live.
Yeah.
I've seen it. And that's why I'm happy to work where I work. Because I saw our founder during COVID say, you know what, hold my salary. Pay guys.
Yeah.
I'll be fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the kind of value that you're talking about.
True.
So when you're a couple, you're generally coming from the same perspective as far as values are concerned. So you're not going to be fighting as to should we pay tax or not? Should we pay bribes or not? Those are things you have already covered and you're kind of on the same page, which means it reduces the points of conflict that are there. Probably the biggest potential downside is you know each other very well, and you can use that knowledge against each other in some way.
True.
And or you are not tough enough because you're caring about somebody's feelings, and sometimes you need to be tough. To say no.
Yeah.
So getting the discipline around that is where I think there's usually the stress. That is usually a problem.
Yeah.
When you don't know the principles of business. Okay?
Yeah.
So that you've not set tough enough goals for your business to achieve and to force each other to a certain standard.
True. Okay.
So sometimes it can be hard to give good feedback.
Yeah.
Which is, imagine this is not working. How can we do it better? You'll be there cheering someone. Oh, it was a good show. No, imagine it was a bad show. How do we improve?
Yeah.
Because you have to go home. That you said you're going to go home with this same person. You see, if it's an employee or a colleague. You did a bad job.
Yes.
You go home. He goes home, you're fine.
Yeah.
But now you're going to go and sleep with this person you just told you did a bad job. So there. That could be a problem.
Yeah. All right.
So the reason I feel like the kind of partnership we have when it comes to how we do our business together is because of how we have defined our roles, like everyone's roles. As you just mentioned, Apo Kidogo. So there's what I do and there's what he does, and we trust each other that he knows I'm capable, and he doesn't need to
micromanage.
Yes. And I trust that he knows exactly what his role is about, and I don't need to micromanage.
Okay.
But would you say that there's probably a better way of dividing roles when working together in a business to avoid conflict?
Yeah. So simply defining the role is already a good thing because you've separated responsibility. The issue here, and this is my sense from this counseling session that we are going through right now, my sense is proper accountability.
Yeah.
You only get better with review. And my sense is it's almost like you're almost running, from what you're saying, they're almost running two different businesses.
Yeah.
Just that it's maybe under the same name or under the same household. But who are you accountable to? How do you review and say, that was good, keep doing it, that was bad, stop doing it? How do we do that? That's usually where, in a situation like this, you might struggle. So the definition of roles is powerful because then you are accountable for what you have been given as a role.
True.
But how do you review? That's where there might be there might be a deficiency.
And that is where now being a bit tough comes in.
Yes.
Huyu anaweza kuwa mkali huyu.
Tusitoe my feelings, the emotions, we put them aside.
No, you can give feedback with kindness, but it's also not kind to tell somebody something is good and it's bad.
True. That's true.
And I'm sure you've seen it as a couple. If Abel is not looking good when he's leaving the house, imagine you say, please stop.
Wacha.
Dress well, because you care for him and you also care for yourself. So that's in the same way, apply that same principle into your business and say you want your partner to get better.
Yeah.
So how do you review that work? Usually is where there's a...
So something else that you've experienced as a couple doing business together has been how to make sure that the business finances and the personal finances hazichanganyikani. Because it's very easy for that to happen. Because you're like, it's all our money.
Yes.
So it can go anywhere and everywhere.
How would you say is maybe like a format or a good way of ensuring that this does not happen? Like you're not mixing your business finances and your personal finances. Or if they mix, is there like a good middle ground? No? A middle point.
So this has to do with the way that we often run our businesses here in Africa like a kiosk. We actually don't know the principles of running a business. And I can say this with authority because I am number one. I was that guy. I ended up in employment because the business that I was running failed. Because I did not know how it works. So if you don't know the principles of business, then you're going to find yourself in trouble. So principle number one of business. In fact, rule number one of business. If you don't have this, you're not even in business. The aim of every business is to generate and maximize profit. Okay? Now, you can mitigate that after our discussion earlier on with our values and all those things. But a business, what separates a business from a hobby is profit. That's rule number one. Now, many of us don't even know what profit is. See, I said I am number one in this place. If I go to China and I buy this glass, okay, I buy it for 100 bob. Okay, I import it to Kenya. I pay tax at the customs. It lands in my shop. The cost of it landing in my shop, transport, everything comes to 200 bob. Now, all of us know we will not sell it at 200.
Correct.
We will not. How much will you sell it for? 350. Let's even say, for the ease of maths, 400. Let's say you'll sell it at 400. Good. So the cost to me to get it to the shop and to get it to you is 200. When I sell it to you for 400, there's a difference between those two.
Yes.
How much is it?
200.
What is that?
That is...
I would say that's the profit.
No,
the profit.
It's not the
It is
profit.
not profit.
You have
that
overheads.
is the mistake that we make. We think that 200 is profit. It is not. Say again what you said just now. You have what?
Overheads.
What are those?
Those
Name
are
them.
the people helping you in the shop.
Thank you. Praise the
You
Lord.
have to keep your lights on.
Praise the Lord.
Any other bills hapo maji.
Praise
Watchman anakuchungia hapo nje.
Praise the Lord.
You have to...
the shop is free.
Shop yenyewe.
Yes.
Rent.
You pay rent. Good. Very good. All right. You've named many of them, but there's a big one you have not named. Please.
Kasongo.
No. Okay. Yes. Okay. Again, you keep going. Dude, me, I don't be abducted. Me, I'm a taxpayer, please.
Other than that, which one
Paying
is that?
yourself.
That should be number
Let
one
me
on that
explain.
list.
Please, can I explain why? How did this cup come from China? How did it come? Who did it? Who planned? Who sourced the capital?
Me.
Who organized?
Me.
Who put the systems in place for the guys to work there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's doing the accounting?
Yeah, that should be
All
number
me.
one. Number one.
Remove you from that equation.
Yeah.
Is there any business?
Nothing.
Good.
Yeah,
On your card for your business,
Yeah.
because you are the owner of that business, what do you write there as your title? Usually you say
entrepreneur.
No, you are not
CEO.
Good.
Yeah.
When you look at any of the corporate businesses that are out there, who gets paid the most?
CEO.
Why?
Yeah.
Because this person is organizing all the resources to bring a return.
Yeah.
You don't pay that person. Can this business work? No. That's a major one.
Yeah.
So put all those together
Yes.
and say, let's say in this our cup selling business,
Yeah.
that's rent, all these things plus me,
Yeah.
100K.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So how many cups do I have to sell
Yeah.
for this business to be profitable?
If you're making 100.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we said our profit on this was how much that we were making per cup. It was coming at 200 and we were selling at 400. That's
Yes.
200
Yes.
per cup.
Per cup.
Is called the gross profit.
Ah.
So now you say, how many do we have to sell
Yeah.
to make this business profitable?
Yes.
More than 100,000 shillings every month.
Ah.
Without selling 100,000 plus of that amount,
Yeah.
you're not profitable.
True.
Therefore, you're not in business.
Yeah.
You're in an expensive hobby.
You know, Waithaka, that is very true. Let me give you a short story.
Please.
In 2021, we ventured into the merchandise business and we were so excited, man. Then the guy who was sourcing for us in China told us, man, start thinking like businessmen. Don't go into your pockets. Get someone to invest for you.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a gentleman. He came in. We were like, okay, sawa. We felt a bit motivated. We were like, apana, okay, we know you've come in to assist, but even us, wacha tuwekele kitu. We bought stuff in China, brought it here, tukatengeneza mambo yetu internally vizuri. Then we had a lovely lady pale anaitwa Salimo to be in charge of the merchandise. And we sold the thing for months. So there was a mistake somewhere. Some of the t-shirts that came were oversized, you remember? So we sat with those t-shirts for like 3 months trying to sell them, but they were not going. But as we were sitting there with the t-shirts, Salimo was getting paid every month.
Yes.
So we sat down and did the math with the investor.
Yes.
We discovered the person who made money out of the business
Is
is Salimo. Sisi wengine wote tukatoka nunge.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
Because we don't understand business.
We don't understand business. I agree.
We don't.
Yeah.
So you might be an excellent project manager,
Yeah.
which is what I was.
Yeah.
Give me a project, I will deliver. But I did not understand the principle of business, which is rule number 1 is what? Every business must generate what? Profit.
Profit.
But I didn't understand what profit was.
Yeah.
So like in this our glass business here,
Yeah.
to just keep the lights on, to keep this business alive without profit, you have to sell 500 glasses
Yes.
every month.
Yeah.
Without selling 500 glasses, you're making a loss every month.
Loss. True.
Now, what did I say is the aim of every business is to do what?
Generate
Generate
cash.
what?
Profit.
Cash. Profit.
So if it is not generating profit
Yeah.
at 500 glasses, so what becomes the target of this business? What would you say? Now you are the business owner.
Yes.
What is the target for this business? To sell how many?
Now double it. Take it to 1,000.
Good. Suddenly your business has what? Targets. So when Salim was sitting in that shop,
Yes.
she cannot be comfortable until she has sold 1,000 cups every month. So, By day 2,
Yeah.
you come and ask her 1,000 divided by 30 every day. You must be selling at least. And if she's not hitting that target, you tell her, stop sitting in the shop.
Yeah.
Please get out of the shop and go find wherever you're going to sell
Go
1,000 cups.
Yeah.
So now I see what Waithaka is talking about when he says, can that business run without you? Because the brief for us, from us to Salimo was, sijali, you just do your thing pale, hakikisha the things that, sisi, we will worry about who comes to buy, where you tuachie.
Worry about the marketing.
Oi.
Stop there for 1 second. Who was doing more work?
Actually now, in hindsight, we were doing more work.
You were doing more work.
Yeah.
You are leveraging on your networks, on your abilities, your skill set, two of you.
Yeah.
Let's put a salary for that person who is doing the work that you're doing in that business.
CEO.
So let's make it, let's simplify it and say it's 100K.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Good now. So your overheads for this business are 200K.
Prisha.
Every month. The business cannot function without 200K's worth of work.
Yeah. Tuli kula inje.
And so many people are thinking they're in business. They are not.
They are not.
Because you are putting value into this business that is not being recognized.
Yes.
Without that value, the business can never be profitable. And when you remove that value, you are working for free.
Yeah.
What do you call a person who works for free?
That's a ghost worker.
No.
You're working for free.
A person who works for free is called what?
Ni CSR.
No. What happened in this continent of ours where people used to come with ships to take people to go somewhere and work for free?
Slavery. Slavery. That's a slave.
You've been slaves for that merchandise business.
To me slave. Yeah, but to learn lessons.
So if you don't set up the business in a way that it can be profitable, you can work for years. We have had people come into our class. 10 years of business, they have never generated profit ever, which means they have essentially been pouring capital into the business.
Yeah.
No money coming out. You're asking, can a business be an asset? A business is an asset when it makes money for you.
Hey. Thank you for starting us this way. Hii mwaka imeanza vizuri. Sawa.
So set up together. Sit down and actually say, what are our actual costs, including us? Did I tell you the second rule of business? I didn't. Let me say it because I know you don't have time. Rule number 1 of business was the aim of every business is to generate and maximize profit. Generate and maximize.
Yeah.
So you see, if we were at 500 glasses, yes?
Yeah.
So we sell 501, this is a profitable business. But the profit the business has generated is 100 bob. That's not maximizing profit. So it's profitable, but it's not in what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Rule number 2. Profit is not your money. Okay? Yes.
Oh, you're right. Because you have already paid yourself.
Profit is not your money.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, nimeelewa.
There are only 3 ways you can make money from your business.
Yes.
Number 1, you pay yourself a salary.
Yes.
Number 2, you take what is called a dividend. Now, a dividend is a portion of the net profit at the end of a financial year. So when you've declared your taxes and everything, you say, profit is this amount. As a directors, you'll sit and say, out of this profit we have made, we pay ourselves. Have you guys ever heard, Safaricom, Equity Bank, all these big companies, they tell you, this year we've made 20 billion in profit. Okay? Do you hear them that they pay 20 billion in dividend? No, they'll probably pay 5 or something to all the shareholders. You share 5. Why? Because how is Safaricom going to go and open in Ethiopia? If they keep eating their profit?
It's true. You're
profit does not belong to you. Profit belongs to the business.
Nice. So is there like a fixed percentage?
No.
Okay.
You as so the amount that you pay in dividends is based also on your goals.
Yes.
Because you're saying, where does this business go to next year?
Yeah.
Where is the money that is capitalizing that growth? It's usually from profit and other areas, but mostly from profit over a long term. So if you keep removing profit, can the business grow? It can't.
Yeah.
How are you going to buy more cups to go and sell in this shop of yours?
Yeah.
Unless you're going into your pocket.
So
profit is not your money. So you take money out through a salary, dividend, or if you sell shares in your business. And this is where you see people, their lives change.
Yes.
You've been reading the newspaper, Dangote is coming to buy a Java when he's whatever.
Yes, yes.
So the second time Java was sold, that one was in the newspaper and we saw the details.
Yep.
It was sold for 13 billion shillings. Okay?
Yeah.
That was the second. We don't even know how much the first time it was sold.
Yes.
So one of the shareholders was one of the founders, a guy called Kevin Ashley. Yeah? It was in the newspaper. That's why I'm able to say this. Kevin Ashley remained with 10% of the shares of Java after the first sale. So we don't know how much they sold originally.
Yeah.
So
But
by
he
the
kept
time
10%.
he kept 10%.
Yeah.
When they sold Java now for 13 billion, they sold it outright. So everything went. He owned how much?
His 10%.
His 10%. So, yes. So how much cash did he go home with?
Oh my God, 1.3 B. The guy is in the billions. Sababu ya steak and eggs.
So why entrepreneurs are working so hard to build value in their business is because they are saying at some point, I will sell it. I'll either sell it to, like in the private equity, like what we're doing there, or I'll put it on the stock market and everyone can buy shares. When you sell shares in your business, that money goes
to you. Okay, kwa hivyo hata sisi ile siku tutagrow biashara inunuliwe, we keep some.
But you cannot sell a business where you are self-employed.
That's true.
Unatunyorosha.
Hapo ndio tunaanzia, hapo ndio sasa kazi.
Because the value is in you. The value is you. I'm not going to buy, because when you decide you're not working, I can't. You're too big a risk.
Wewe.
I feel like this conversation, sometimes you do these conversations thinking, oh, my audience is going to be so happy to have a conversation with them. But I feel like this conversation was more for us. And it was for you guys. Hey, because that has been very insightful, Waithaka.
Thank God.
Asante.
That has been very insightful. Mpaka sitaki kuongeza swali.
But kabla aende tu atuambie classes next ni lini. I am saying.
Zikushaanza. Wewe ndio umechelewa.
Bado. Oh, wait.
The trial class was juicy. So
you said this is going out on Sunday?
Yeah.
Yes,
which is Sunday.
This Sunday.
Itakuwa
on the 2nd of February.
Classes start on the 4th.
Yeah.
Yes.
For Uganda, we've opened a class for Uganda, which is so exciting.
Yeah.
But then for Kenya and the rest of the world, we have on the 5th, 6th, and then Saturday. So they're actually starting this week. If you're watching this as it has come out, classes are starting now, and you're welcome to join in.
Okay. But it's June, yeah?
So,
from 7.
Centonomy 101, we do it for 12 weeks, starting, as I said, this week.
Yeah.
And you come for one class per week. You can either come in on Wednesday, Thursday, or Saturday. Okay. So Wednesday and Thursday, 6 p.m.
Yes.
Saturday, 9 a.m.
Okay.
So you pick one.
Okay.
We are trying to keep people in your class as much as possible, but life happens. And if that week life happens and you miss your Tuesday class, you can come on Wednesday or Saturday.
I prefer the Saturday morning classes.
You are welcome to do that as well.
But
Saturday morning, there'll be a wedding one of these days. And then what do you do at that point? So you come in on the Tuesday that week or Wednesday, whichever other day.
But it's virtual.
It is virtual, so you can log in wherever you are in the world. You'll be students. We've had students from every continent on earth except Antarctica. That's the only place.
Awesome.
But we'll find someone. So you'll be there with people with different perspectives. It's such a vibrant space and you learn a lot.
Yeah.
We also run the Centonomy Entrepreneur Program.
Yeah.
And that also is starting this week on Wednesday, the 5th.
Yeah.
Come in if you run a business, your primary source of income.
Yeah.
That's a vital class for you. So everyone should do 101.
Yeah.
But for entrepreneurs, that's on Wednesday. And you can find all the details on Centonomy. We are on all social media. If you search Centonomy, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Everywhere. And our website, centonomy.com.
Okay.
Yes.
So actually, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave all the links to all their social media platforms and their contact information. In case you're interested in either of the two programs and classes, then you just end hapo kwa description box. I leave all the information you need there plus their phone number so that you can just talk to them directly. Waithaka, this has been fun.
It's been
Phenomenal.
fun. You guys are
This
amazing.
has been fantastic. This has been such an awesome conversation. And now just to wrap it up, the final question.
You guys are pastors. You guys are preachers who keep saying
Yeah. So if you had any final words
Yes.
for a couple that's navigating both money and business together, what would you tell them? Like final words.
do it together. You know, when you say it together, we often don't mean we are together. It means we are you do your part, I do my part.
Yes.
Have that unified position.
Yeah.
Work together, share, give each other good feedback, which means it's not always positive. When you say together, mean it.
Good.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Don't leave things out. With every relationship that you're in, if there's anything hidden, anything that's not been said, you're going to find trouble along the way. In the class, sorry, I know I talk a lot, so forgive me.
Yeah.
You see, you're coming from one perspective.
Yes.
You grew up somewhere, how things were being done. You're coming from another perspective, how things were done in your place. If you never discuss, there's an expectation.
True.
Yeah. And then there can be frustration because where I came from, dad used to.
Yes.
Useless guy over here is not doing what dad used to. So where I come from, mom used to. This wife of mine, she's not doing it. Without talking about it, you'll never discover. When you talk, now you stop saying where I come from. Now you start saying where we are going. So where we are going in our house, this is how we'll be doing it.
Don't look back too.
Don't look back.
Don't look back.
You're not coming. You're not going that way.
Yes. Leave what is behind. And start as a couple saying, okay, our parents did it. We used to do it. Now moving forward, this is how we are going to do it.
Nice.
Can I give you a quick example?
Yes.
As I was leaving home, my wife was asking me, so where are you going? I have an interview today. Okay, so where is it? My answer was, it's in Westlands. Then she was upset. Oh, yeah, sorry, babe. Because Westlands is very big. Where are you going?
Yes.
For me, many times I leave the house, I don't even know where I'm going. Because somebody sent me the link. So the Google Maps, whatever pin. So when I get in the car, I put the pin. Now it tells you. See, I know I'm going generally towards Westlands, then I'll find. And I'm happy. Many times I leave the house, I don't even know where I'm going. Like even
Same
here,
here.
honestly, I didn't know. I just knew. If I even get to Sarit, I can't get lost by the time I'm coming. She wanted to hear, I'm going on Karuna Road, past near Westlands Primary School. It's at a place called IRL, and I'll be meeting. I'll be on Judy's show, and Abel might be. She wanted that whole story. So I had to say, sorry, babe. I'm so sorry. I will do better on giving more information
Next time.
when you ask me.
Yeah.
And we've been married now 13. You can imagine I'm still learning things 13 years later. But it took her giving me a moment of honesty and saying, your answer was insufficient.
Yes.
And I had to say, anyway, it was.
Yeah.
I can do better.
Yeah. Hey.
Awesome.
Wow.
My key takeaway from this conversation today.
Yes.
Is transparency. Like if you're transparent, if you're working together as a couple and you're transparent,
Yes.
maneno itakuwa tu sawa.
Itakuwa tu sawa.
Wewe unaweza sema yako ni gani? As
Mazee,
we wrap up.
yani leo I have learned that I am a self-employed human. Na vile naringiaga watu hapa nje bana, mimi.
Entrepreneur.
But it's okay. Ni
But
sawa.
this is the year we do better.
This is the year we do better.
Yeah, this is the year. Alafu mwaka tu ndio umeanza.
Yeah.
So
It's true.
tuende tufanye Centonomy 101.
Yeah.
Kuanzia hapo.
True.
Yeah.
Although nitaanzia hiyo ya entrepreneurship. Ndio by the time mzigo inafika ipate mejipanga.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Baba Mumbus. Thank you,
Anytime.
Waithaka. It was a pleasure having you.
Kwanza leo na film yani nimekuwa tu backbencher. Sijai kwa place kwa set nimenyamaza kama leo yani.
Leo nilikwambia ngochi. Ulikuwa tu kuja uketi tu hapa. Usome.
Maze, Waithaka, thank you so much, man. You're dropping gems vibaya sana. Hapo sawa.
Thank you so much. Guys, we are done. Please, if you would like to learn if you want any more information about Centonomy and the programs that they offer, remember wapi? Description box.
Yes.
We'll leave all the information you need hapo. And if you have any questions, please Waithaka pia comment section. He might be able to come and answer, right? Some of these questions.
And if I can't, we have 20 plus trainers, experts in their field. It's not just me.
Yes.
Please understand. When you're learning about shares, it's from a stockbroker. It's not me. So, yes.
All right, guys. And until next time, until our next conversation, kwaheri. Bye-bye.
Tuonane kwa class ya Centonomy.
Awesome. Oh, thank you.
Waithaka.